Germany called it a year of miracles, and this is where they began. The candlelit demonstrations that filled the streets of Leipzig sparked the fuse which led to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Among the quiet revolutionaries who dared to challenge the communist regime was a devout Christian called Edgar Dustal. Despite the fact I was reporting from the city undercover to avoid the secret police, he was brave enough to risk the exposure of an interview. It was time for all their voices to be heard, he said. He's now a pastor in the eastern suburbs of Berlin, a lifetime's ambition achieved, and the proud father of 7 children.
Wir waren uns des Risikos bewusst.
We all knew the risks, but we'd come to a point where we didn't have an alternative. Our lives in East Germany at that time had become unbearable. We had to do something.
As an 8-year-old schoolboy, Edgar was singled out by his communist teacher and publicly ridiculed for his Christian faith. His youngest son is now the same age, and the pastor thanks God that he will never face such persecution for not fitting into a system. The courage of the crowds in Leipzig cannot be doubted. Only months before, another communist regime in Beijing notoriously suppressed a similar public protest, the massacre of Tiananmen Square.
Egon Krenz has gambled with a rapid series of concessions. He can draw out the momentum of this mass movement here and stop it coalescing into an opposition which could challenge the Communist Party for supremacy.
20 years ago, as I joined the demonstrators here in Karl-Marx-Platz, we little realized just how far and how fast the quiet revolution would go.
Roland Quester was also at the heart of the protests in 1989. An environmental activist, he took me around the blighted landscape surrounding Leipzig at the time to show me the extent of the reckless pollution under the communists. Now a town councillor in the city and the father of 4 children, Roland told me the wall still exists economically between the west and the east of Germany, but so much has changed.
I can live freely. I can do whatever I want to under unification. It's as though you've grown taller. I can breathe deeply and work on issues we weren't allowed to 20 years ago. I have access to all kinds of information. I can express myself. That would have got me thrown in jail before.
The fact you can breathe deeply again around Leipzig is down to men like Quester and the strength of the Green Movement in the unified Germany. The shadow of communism has been removed. Even more than the freedom of movement, it's the freedom of thought that people here now most relish. David Chater, Al Jazeera, Leipzig.